Hello guys, welcome back in Software Testing Basics series, and in today's lesson 6 we'll be covering difference between functional testing and non-functional testing, and then majorly we'll be covering different types of non-functional testing. In last video we have already covered different types of functional testing. So in this video we'll be focusing on types of non-functional testing. So let's cover difference between functional testing and non-functional testing. So under functional testing, testing performed to verify the functional requirement of system. That means what system can do. We are verifying whether the functionality of the system is working fine or not. For example, our e-commerce website functionality is a user should be able to sign up to the website, then user should be able to add few products from the e-commerce website, add them into the cart, and then user should be able to do the payment and then order should get placed, right? So this is the very common functionality of e-commerce website. So now when we come to non-functional testing, testing performed to verify non-functional requirement of the system. How well system can do or how well system perform, right? If we talk about e-commerce website, here our non-functional requirement could be that there could be 10,000 concurrent user placing order on the e-commerce website, right? And those 10,000 users should be able to place order without any glitch or without any blocker. So this is one of the example of non-functional requirement, right? There are many other non-functional requirements that a system should fulfill. Let's come to second point, that is functional testing is mandatory. So we have to verify each and every functionality of the system. So it is a mandatory step. Non-functional testing we can perform on some part of the system and it is not mandatory to perform on complete system. For example, we are performing a load test, and for load test we don't have to perform load test on each and every functionality or each and every flow, right? For example, we have to perform a load test for an e-commerce website that there should be 10,000 concurrent user, right? But we can skip other functionalities that, let's say, 10,000 users are trying to update their name. We can skip this part. So it comes under optional testing, right? Non-functional testing are performed on specific areas of the system. We can perform it on complete system as well, but currently in many firms we are doing it optionally in some part of the system, right? And the next point is, in functional testing we focuses on business requirement, right? And non-functional testing focuses on user experience and system performance. For example, you are on an e-commerce website and you are trying to place an order, and when you are clicking on the place my order button, that button is not getting clicked. So that could be a blocker, right? So this comes under user experience, that user is not able to have great experience or there is some blocker on the user interface, right? So this comes under non-functional testing. Different types of functional testing we have already covered in last video, that is unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and more. Whereas in non-functional testing, their types will be covering in this video. So let's cover types of non-functional testing. So in non-functional testing, we have different types that are performance, compatibility, usability, and security, right? Under performance, we have load testing, stress testing, scalability testing, volume testing. In compatibility, we have two types, that is cross-browser and cross-platform. Usability, we have UI testing, exploratory testing. And in security, we have penetration testing and fuzz testing. So we'll be covering each and every type in detail in this video, right? So let's start with first, that is performance testing. Performance testing. So performance testing is all about load and stress testing, right? So in performance testing, we verify that what kind of load and what kind of stress our system could handle, and at what point our system will start behaving weirdly, right? So performance testing focuses on evaluating the performance and scalability of the system or application. Performance testing aims to identify bottleneck, measure system performance under various load and conditions, right? I just said this. And we also ensure that the system can handle the expected numbers of users and transactions, right? We should know that how many users or how many transactions our system could handle, right? So this comes under performance testing. Then let's cover two different types in performance testing, that is load testing and stress testing. So load testing, it helps identify the bottleneck and determine the maximum numbers of user transactions a system can handle. It checks the product's ability to perform under anticipated users' load. So load testing verify that what is the maximum number of user our system can handle, or what are the maximum number of transaction our system can handle, right? And it just checked that point where the system will start behaving weirdly. That is bottleneck, that after this point our system might behave very weirdly, right? So load testing verifies that whether our system is behaving properly with the maximum required user or not. For example, my requirement is that my banking application should be able to perform transaction with 10,000 concurrent users, right? So when we are verifying this, that with 10,000 concurrent users, our system is performing fine or not, that means we are performing load testing, right? We are not going above 10,000 because that's not our requirement. So below the bottleneck or below the requirements, that is, or up to the requirement, that is load testing. Whereas stress testing is advanced of load testing. Over here, we perform a load testing above the limit, and at that point of time we verify the behavior. So until now we have a limit of 10,000 users, but in stress testing we might put our system with 20,000 of users, and we will verify system behavior at that point of time. So we are putting our system in stress, right? And then we are checking the behavior. So stress testing is a type of testing that tests the system ability to handle a high load above normal usage level. So the normal usage level was 10,000, but we are verifying above the normal usage level. It helps identify the breakpoint, that at this point our system will crash, right? For example, we are putting users, concurrent user for around 20,000. Still system is working fine. Maybe it will slow down. The responses of the system will slow down, but still system is able to complete the transaction. But as I just poured 25,000 of users, concurrent user, our system just crashed. So this is the testing we perform in stress testing. We verify what is the potential of our system, right? And what kind of heavy condition our system will get crashed, until what level our system will be able to handle the load. So this is stress testing. When we are performing testing above the normal limit or above the expected limit, and we are trying to make our system crash, that is stress testing. And load testing is that when we are verifying whether with given number of load our system is performing fine or not, right? So this is load testing and stress testing. Now let's cover next. So whenever we are creating a system, we make sure that we'll be able to scale our system. For example, today we are supporting 10,000 of transaction in our banking application. But maybe after 1 year or 2 years, client could come to us and ask that I want to scale it up to 50,000. So whether we have that kind of support to our system that we'll be able to scale it up or not, right? So we have to make sure our system is scalable or not. It helps in planning capacity additions to your software system, right? Now then comes volume testing. So in volume testing, what we do is we feed a large amount of data to the system, and then we check the performance of the system, whether still system is able to respond properly. Volume testing, let's take an example. I am a banking admin user, and we have too much of data in banking application right now, and I want to find out a transaction of Divyansha for last 2 years, right? So we have to verify whether our system is behaving fine in while sorting and searching data from so much of big database or not, right? So our API should go in database, find Divyansha's last 200 transaction, and then show it up to the admin, right? Basically, we are verifying that our system is behaving properly with that large amount of data or not. So this is volume testing. So volume testing could be done on some system, not on all system. It depends on the requirement of the system, right? So this was volume testing. So we have covered 4 different types of performance testing, right? So let's start with the another type. So now comes compatibility testing. So compatibility testing is very famous and very important kind of testing, right? So for example, you are using an Instagram application on Android device, right? So the user experience on Android device should be same a user experience on iOS device, right? So over here we are doing testing to verify that our system is behaving similar on different platforms, right? And another type is browsers. For example, you are opening a website on Chrome, so you should have same user experience on Safari as well, right? There should be no mismatch in the user experience, and there should be no lack of functionality on one browser and not on another browser. So we have to verify that our system or our application is compatible on different browsers as well as on different platforms, right? Compatibility testing is a type of testing that examines and compares functionality over multiple browsers, device, platforms, operating system to recognize potential discrepancies, right? So in compatibility testing, we have cross-browser testing, testing performed to verify software is compatible with different types of browsers or not, right? And cross-platform testing, that testing performed to verify software is compatible with different types of platform or not. So this was compatibility testing. It is very straightforward and very simple, right? So security testing verify there should be no weakness or vulnerabilities to our software application that could lead to unauthorized access, data breaches, or other security threats, right? In security testing, we have two types of testing currently, that is penetration testing and fuzz testing. There are many other types, but these are the famous one, and mainly they are performed currently in the market. So penetration testing. So penetration testing is also known as pen testing. So in penetration testing, what we do is like we think like an attacker, and we find that area of a system where we think that this is the weakest part of the system, and here our attacker could attack and just exploit our system, right? So for example, we have a text box where we are asking some data from user, right? So we have to avoid that that text box should not accept scripts, or that text box should not accept SQL queries, right? So we have to find out the areas where we think that attacker could attack and exploit our system. We have to fix all the security flows that can be exploited by malicious actors, right? So this is penetration testing, and this is very commonly done security testing, right? So it is very commonly type of done security testing. Then comes fuzz testing. So in fuzz testing, it is like we are just randomly providing random inputs to the system. We are passing random data in our system, and then we are identifying the vulnerabilities, or we are finding out that with this kind of data, our system is getting crashed. So this is fuzz testing. So now let's move to our last type, that is usability testing. So usability testing is a method used to evaluate how easy or difficult it is for user to interact with our product or service by observing complete tasks. So basically what we are doing over here is that we try to use the UI, and when we are using a UI, we try to find out some issues that this could be an issue and a user could get blocked over here. For example, I am a tester and I'm trying to test a website. So I'll go and try to run each and every possible flow on that website. And if I think that this flow is breaking over here, or maybe I can say that this button is not working, or this is not properly visible, this tag is not properly visible, or price of a product is not properly visible. So these kind of observations we make, and then we may give that feedback to the developers that please make these kind of changes, because I feel that it is kind of usability bug, right? It's creating issue while I'm using the software or using the application. So these kind of testing comes under usability testing. In usability testing, we have currently UI testing and exploratory testing, right? So UI testing or user interface testing, user interface is the full form of UI, right? Is a testing process in which the functionality, usability, and consistency of user interaction in a particular software application are verified. I just told you that we are just verifying the basic functionality of the system, right? This process ensures every activity that the user tries to achieve with the application is performed seamlessly, right? We have to verify that if a user is getting landed on an e-commerce website, he should be able to perform each and every action without any blocker, right? There should be no any mishappening or misleading on our UI that a user is not able to perform a specific action, or a user is not able to place an order, right? So basically we are thinking like a end user, right? So this is UI testing. It checks the layout of graphic, text on button, input field, and navigation. So basically everything that is on the application on the front end side, we are verifying that. So that comes under usability testing, right? So then comes exploratory testing. Exploratory testing, basically in exploratory testing, what we do is that we are just randomly exploring the application, right? So I'll just randomly pick any flow of the system. For example, I will just pick the login page, right? So in exploratory testing, what you are doing, you are just randomly exploring the system. You just pick one of the methodology of the system and you start testing it. For example, you start testing the login page, right? So basically in exploratory testing, what you are doing is you are upskilling your knowledge on the system, right? You are just randomly testing different flows on the system so that you can understand the working and back-end functionality of the system. So exploratory testing is just randomly exploring the system. Okay, so we have covered all types of software testing types, right? And this is good amount of knowledge around types of software testing. And I don't think so we have skipped any type of testing in it, and I don't think so interviewer will find any other type of testing that you don't know. We have covered almost each and every type of testing in this, and if you are able to learn and if you are able to understand these many type of testing, then you are good to go. You are well prepared for your first software testing interview. Okay, so let's wrap up for today's lesson. I'll meet you in next lesson.